Welcome to game number 2 of this series between Fitzyhere and DeMusliM here in the EGC TV $20,000 Winter Cup. DeMusliM already changing his mind on his mill placement. DeMusliM is currently up in this series 1-0, playing as China on Fitzyhere's home map of Hillendale, where Fitzyhere is playing as the Delhi Sultanate. Now, if you missed the first matchup, DeMusliM was playing as French versus Fitzyhere's English and was able to take the victory, but there was a controversial discussion where apparently Fitzyhere's forward tower as the English was not activating when enemies were nearby, and he was not getting his attack boost. So there was admins called in, and admins decided that round 1 stood as is, but unfortunately an awkward scenario, a bug that anyone wants to run into in the first game of a series. And in case you weren't aware, DeMusliM ranked 1 and 2 with 2 different accounts on the ladder versus Fitzyhere, who's currently ranked, rank 40. So obviously DeMusliM is a favor in this matchup and is currently up. So here we go. We're going to see how Fitzyhere can do. DeMusliM playing as China, which I think is a good civilization of his. Starting off with the mill, gathering the gold here with his Imperial official. He probably will not gather any actual gold from traditional means. He's able to just gather it here from the mill. And he's up against Fitzyhere's Delhi Sultanate. And I was just telling a Twitch chat, Fitzyhere is a HRE one-trick. An HRE got banned for him. That's the struggles of being a one-trick. And he only started playing Delhi 2 days ago. 2 days ago. DeMusliM has played, countless hours on every civilization. So Fitzyhere has quite a challenge. This would be a huge upset for him to take a win in this game. Opening up with two scouts, because he is the sheep lord. He has a sheep guide on YouTube, a sheep scouting guide. So even though I don't think going for two scouts is always the right call, I'm not surprised at Fitzyhere going for multiple scouts often. He loves his sheep and is going to have plenty of them. Now, this is a rather boomy map. We have China. DeMusliM knew this was Fitzyhere's home map, so he was able to pick China. I think they do well on a boomy map like this, but Delhi aren't terrible on boom either. Personally, I don't like to boom late game against China. I think Fitzyhere will need to go for either some kind of age 2 pressure, which I think could be hard to pull off versus China, but more doable now with horsemen, or needs to have some kind of timing attack in the third age. He doesn't want to be duking it out against age 4 bombards against China. So looks like DeMusliM is actually going to gather just a little bit of gold there by traditional means, but Fitzyhere is ready to click up. Down comes his Dome of Faith, which will train those cheaper scholars. Now, Fitzyhere has not started a mosque yet, right? He's going for the... Now, hold on a second. He's taken his brother's advice. I told him that it's common to open with an early mill because you can power out those eco upgrades for your professional scouts. Because look here, he has 2 mills. I've seen Delhi players doing this recently. You drop 2 mills, you queue up Wheelbarrow at 1, you get survival techniques at the other. They're free, right? They take a little bit of time, but they're free. They'll be done by the second age, and then you queue up professional scouts and boost out some scholars. So Fitzyhere is definitely, well, even if he doesn't get it, even though it's free, and also not to mention horticulture is great for gathering berries and sheep. Even if he doesn't get the professional scouts, his deer are right here. So it's good. It's a good upgrade anyway, honestly. It's a good upgrade. This is going to be good for him. Down comes his mosque, which will boost the research rates of his buildings. Now, we see a rather forward barbecue of the sun, as we call it, but only 1 villager built it. This makes me think that DeMusliM is stacking resources for a town center, and that's what he's doing. Only 1 villager building this. This is going to be very slow. He's not worried about pressure, even though 2 scouts could deny that entire landmark. Man, wouldn't that be crazy? 2 scouts could deny this. But he is going to be going for a 2 TC build. And with China, if he goes for a dynasty, even without dynasty, he's going to be in a great spot having 2 town centers. Will the Delhi Sultanate open with 2 town centers? Unlikely. I don't think he will. So this is going to get be a bit of a boomer game there for you boomers out there. We do see that first mosque spawning with... Now look at this. He has passed up efficient production and gone for piety. A very curious decision. I think efficient production is, it's a great upgrade because you need it. The China gets it for free. Who knows why? They can do it with their official without any upgrades. So I think it is a necessary tech. Interesting to see Fitzy here skipping it. Obviously, being a newer Delhi player, maybe he just has a different strategy in mind. Now that he's in the second age, I think he needs to cancel and get Sanctity, which he has started. So there we go. Not the end of the world. He went for a later Moss, but got earlier economic buildings. A lot of villagers on gold. Is he going for a fast castle? I do see a barracks down. This could be a fast castle, but it looks like we had a little bit of a scout fight, and DeMusliM is currently winning that. He is scouting. He knows that DeMusliM is going to town centers with that scout. Pro players always run through their opponent's base around H-up. Now, talk about for Delhi having some nice wall ups. Look at this. That's a nice little gap. If you're a Delhi Sultanate player, you can easily wall that with a single spearman, but probably not too afraid of early China pressure. He did just scout. He knows he's going to TC. Training some spearmen. Maybe he's going to try to counter any of professional scout gameplay. Let's see. Is DeMusliM going for professional scouts? He doesn't appear to be even going for professional scouts. He could go for it later, but I don't think he is. I think he's just going for 2 town centers. There it is. Fitzy here. Oh, he almost was able to block it for a second. Oh, man. Wouldn't that been something? But we've got DeMusliM putting out a second town. So Fitzy here powering out those scholars. A lot of villagers on gold. He is definitely fast castling, and DeMusliM is going to know that. Like I mentioned, pro players scout all the time. He sees 9 villagers on gold. There is no reason for Delhi Sultanate to be gathering that much gold other than if they're trying to age, because all the technologies are free. Their scholars cost gold, but they don't cost that much gold. And there goes the Imperial Academy. He is now going to have that dynasty. You can see that Tang dynasty, or the Song dynasty rather. He will get minus 35% reduction to reduced time for villagers. So not only does he have more town centers, he's going to have faster training villagers, and unfortunately going to lose a scout in the mix. Oh boy! So down goes his intel. DeMusliM has all the intel to know. Like if you're booming, you're probably happy about this, right? Opponent has fast castled. He is set up. He is going to try to capture these sacred sites, but I mean, I think that is the play, honestly, for Delhi in this map. I wouldn't try to push into China's base uphill. Just go for the sacred site victory. But it's going to be a challenging one to hold. Nest of Bees are no joke. Late game siege, or any siege for China is good. Now look at this. Fitzy here starting to wall DeMusliM in. We have one part of wall, but obviously, like long term, is that wooden wall going to make a big impact? No, but it'll slow him down for a little bit right now. Big wall coming down, huge wall. If you have the snake wall emote, you know what to do in the chat right now. Let's see it. Fitzy here used to get annoyed when we'd be playing our team games and I'd be screaming about my Delhi snake walls, but he has finally discovered the way. Uh-oh, something awkward happened there. Did he delete that? I don't know what the hell. I think that might have been a bug, to be honest. Second bug of the day. I think that's a bug. What happened? Maybe he needed the wood? No, he didn't need the wood. Maybe he's saving 150 wood. I don't know. Maybe he's saving the wood for something. Anyways, Fitzy here is going to be aging up here very soon. You can see he has 1,200 food, 800 gold. DeMusliM nowhere close to aging, but he has two of his landmarks. So he has the dynasty. He's building these villages, which is part of the dynasty as well, which hold in additional population. So, I mean, DeMusliM is set up for a huge boom. Fitzyhere has to do something here as he reaches the third age. Look at that. He has 14 villagers powering out to the House of Learning, which is a landmark. Oh, he needs a house. We didn't typically see. Oh, he doesn't even have the wood for a house. This is very unfortunate. Oh boy. Is he building a house somewhere? Not a landmark we saw until this week because Hone Blades had bugged research time, but now he can get Hone Blades. He can power out. He can research Hone Blades. He gives +3 attack to man-arms and the Lancers. Okay, he is bringing in those professional scouts, or bringing in those deer. Oh my gosh, this is going to be a boomer game. What the hell? Did he just delete a spearman in order to get a villager out? What a power play. I think he did. I think he realized he was housed and deleted a spearman to get a villager. I love it. I absolutely love it. Uh-oh. We got sacred site here. Okay, so this is 2. He has all 3 sacred sites in just a second. So this will be 600 gold generation per minute. Let's look at the income per minute. Now, looking at the resources, Fitzyhere has 32 villagers versus the 51 of DeMusliM. So, despite having those sacred sites, DeMusliM doesn't really care. His eco, even without sacred sites, is just absolutely gigantic. Okay, he doesn't have this last sacred site. This is very unfortunate. He needs a second spear, or he needs to stop and catch this scout. Fitzyhere finally just solved his whole being house situation. Working on those relics now. Now, he is a pro. Uh-oh. Wait, did that relic go inside there? I think he put it down first, right? I think he put it down first. He is a pro at grabbing these relics because he's an HRE main. And HRE mains, they love their relics. So I would highly suspect he will go for all the relics out here on the map. There we go with 2 spearmen. Is finally going to be able to take this sacred site. Can he keep this scholar alive? I think he will. We got a tower here. Okay, so Fitzyhere is setting up. Wouldn't it have been nice, though, if this was like, you know, this has probably been 2 minutes of running around the sacred site. This would have been time shaved off. Okay, in 10 minutes. So at about 21 minutes, Fitzyhere will win the game if DeMusliM doesn't contest these. But DeMuslim's going to just have, I mean, look at his res. Look at his income per minute, rather, right now. He is going to have a massive eco. He's going to be okay, but a clock is ticking, right? He does need to make a push, but he's calm and collected. This ain't his first rodeo on this map, and he will be prepared to deal with this. But honestly, I like this positioning as Delhi. Having all the sacred sites is good. It's a lot of gold. Let's look at the income per minute. You can see there are a lot of gold coming in, and he's getting probably every single relic on the map. I can only imagine. Let's see if he's guarding any other ones. Oh, look at this. We have a villager out here. Some cheeky hunting. I don't know if Fitzyhere will scout this, honestly. This would be a huge pickup if he could get it, but I don't know if he will. I see a lot of people in chat screaming about the fact that bombards will deal with Delhi, and I would agree. Chinese bombards, they are no joke. They will be a huge factor in this game if this goes to H4, which it probably will. We do see some palace guards, though, coming out, and Fitzyhere needs to mount a defense. He needs to get a real army out, and he is stacking res right now. What is he doing? Is he going for a fast Imperial? Fitzy, this is not the Holy Roman Empire. Fast Imperial does not it does not work out so well for the Delhi Sultanate. He is doing it, but man, oh man, I know he does it. I mean, what's he going to do about these palace guards as they start coming in? They're going to contest these sites. He's going to lose this sacred site. He's going to learn this gold. I mean, it is a bold move, and China might honestly still follow him up in age. He needs to hold this sacred site. He cannot. I really think that this is an important part of his victory strategy. And if he doesn't, he's not going to have this upgrade in time. What's he going to defend this with? He doesn't have anything to defend this. He has 1 tower. I mean, there's a palace guard there, but this thing has armor. He's probably going to cap this bottom site. I think he's getting the Springald upgrade. I mean, he could just barely hold it. Just barely. Let's see if any siege comes into play here. But that's a lot of palace. Nah, that's a lot of palace guards. He's going to take it. So Fitzyhere going for a very cheeky... he has a mark as well. A Palace of the Sultan, a fast Imperial. I haven't seen a whole lot of Delhi fast Imperials in my days, but here it is. Fitzyhere going for the fast Imperial, and DeMuslim's probably like looked at this and it's like, what the fuck is going on? We've got Delhi Imperial, and now he knows. Okay, this guy's got nothing. I'm going to push in. I'm going to take these sacred sites, and that is exactly what he's going to do. Fitzy is going to certainly lose the sacred site, but now the clock is ticking. What is his plan? What's his push here? He doesn't have even a whole lot of military protection either. I'm not sure. Is he going for a keep boom? No, his village fortress isn't completed yet. I also wondering if he was going for some kind of like late game keep boom. Like maybe he will a little bit. Oh man, look at this. He almost held that sacred. Well, no, he didn't. Not even close. So there we go. That sacred site timer has stopped. DeMusliM is out on the map gathering. Oh, long gathering. This is kind of awkward. Long gathering these berries. But where's Fitzy's army? He is. Oh my gosh, what a madman. He is going for a keep boom. He is going to do this. But you know what's good against keeps? Chinese bombards. And at the end of the day, China has been set up way earlier than Fitzy. Look, he is almost at 100 villagers right now. Fitzyhere only on 46 villagers. You do not want to boom against China like this. Oh my word. And Fitzyhere being a high-level player, but as I mentioned before, this is only his second... This is like his 3rd day playing as the Delhi Sultanate. He's just like me. I played like my second English game ever in a tournament round, right? But his are way more high stake than me. But anyways, he has these keeps. I think he might be going for some... Well, no, I don't think he's even going for Villager Boom because he has his other techs queued up. Madrasa going down. Maybe he's just going for those techs. But I'd imagine China's going to follow him up in age here soon. He stopped the Sacred Sites. He is dropping a keep mid. I'm nervous for this. I am nervous for this. He has so many villagers. Let's look at the income per minute. I mean, look at the difference there right now. At least Fitzyhere has the gold income, right? At least he has the gold income, and he is getting free elephants. He is getting those free elephants. Now, he's new to Delhi, so he might be fooled by the whole train 1 million scholars so that you can get your text thing. Or maybe it's in his strategy, but I find it usually isn't worth it, right? He's training full price scholars right now, right? This is 300 gold, 450 gold. Yeah, he's spending a lot of gold right now on full price scholars versus the Dome of Faith ones, which... Oh, why is he not training them out of the Dome of Faith? Oh, my word. So he is flexing right now. There we go. He's queued him up. That keep trying to defend back at home in these tower elephants. He'll be fine to defend this right now. DeMusliM sees that Fitzy is set up. And to be honest, I told him this tip. Make sure you drop 2 madrasas if you go H4. Now, this is common Delhi knowledge, but I think he probably has formulated this madman strategy of fast Imperial, gets my late game text. But the reality is, this still doesn't come for another 5 minutes. DeMusliM could pop the next stage right now and still power out his technologies and have a huge eco to support it. So what is his end game? Because I think China's army wins toe-to-toe against Delhi's. He could go for a wonder victory. That is for sure something he could do. But again, bombards would just power that right down. And not to mention, he doesn't have the stone. I mean, he could get the stone, but I sure wouldn't want to be turtling up against an approaching China bombard, because these keeps might look mighty, but they will be instantly slaughtered. He's going to get a bit of villager boom, but 48 vills versus 115 DeMusliM. That is a huge resource difference, guys. Huge resource difference. You don't want to be down 60 villagers. Now, we can't discount there's been free gold out on the map earlier, and then 5 free gold, 5 free relics, but DeMusliM is probably very happy. As I mentioned at the very start of this game, I don't like just sitting back and booming against China. It's scary. They have a massive boom, and we're going to see if Fitzyhere with some madman strategy is able to pull this off. I think he's used to playing as the Holy Roman Empire, where you can abuse that late game Palace of Swabi. I call it abuse because I think that landmark is absolutely ridiculous. And boom out. But you can see this is the difference between other civilizations, fast Imperial. I mean, 120 vills versus 54 right now. He could even overboom on vills, stack some res, and then just go he could roll in right now, honestly, with a full bombard army, and just with nest of bees behind it. Okay, he is walling himself in. Oh boy. Oh boy. Hey, I think he might be going for a wonder. I don't know. But on this map, you run out of resources. He's going to run out of wood eventually. He's going to run out of golden base. Oh, but I mean, look at a good gold spawn. All 3 right by each other. Oh boy. Okay, guys. Well, if he can pull this off, this will be the most legendary game I've ever casted. I'm not even gonna lie. But here we go. DeMusliM is in the 4th age. He's got his university. Let's see, has any of these university techs come in for Fitzy here? He still has a minute on that one. Let's look how long it takes for a Chinese technology. It takes 1 minute 30 seconds. So he is not far behind. And of course, there's not even any fighting going on right now. So he will have those techs in time. He will have these awesome pyrotechnics upgrade. He could get increased villager gather rates. I mean, I don't know. I think it's going to be an easy match for him to roll over Delhi. Now, oh boy, he needs to rebuild this mining camp. Perhaps Fitzyhere just hasn't gone against the late game China as Delhi and realized that it is a very, very hard matchup. But let's look at this. DeMusliM, lots of res in the bank. Fitzyhere doing a good job spending his food, low on gold. Is he going for a wonder? I don't see a wonder yet. He's building farms around these keeps. It's all fun and games until the bombards and nest of bees arrive, which will be very, very soon. Okay, there we go. That finally wall. Did he go? Okay, yeah, he's building with villagers because he doesn't have a compound defender. You know the other thing? DeMusliM could go for these sacred sites. Even if Fitzyhere were to pop a wonder down, which I don't think he's going to do, the wonder takes 15 minutes, sacred site takes 10 minutes. And we have Chinese bombards, clock tower bombards out on the field. This is going to be a scary one. Okay, so we've got elephants sitting around, spears sitting around. What is his strategy for... I mean, he could use the forced march to sprint down those bombars, but if there's villagers on top of him, and not to mention if the nest of bees... It's usually the palace guards and spears gum up your army while the nest of bees slaughter you. That's usually what happens. You know, and I would like to point this out because I see this all the time and mention it. I see countless casts. You know, I cast top 10 games all the time. I see the top players in this game largely ignore sacred sites and relics. Now, relics not in this game, but like DeMusliM has had complete map control and has been encapsulated for a long time. Why on earth? He is number one, right? He's number one. He's better than I could possibly be at this game. Why the hell has he not taken the 3 sacred sites? He could have already be well on his way to the victory and not even have to step foot in Fitzyhere's base. It is an option. And does he need it? I don't know if he does need it, but why not take that? Not to mention it's free gold. It's free real estate. I don't know. I see pro players neglect the sacred sites all the time, and it baffles me. Okay, but anyways, here comes DeMusliM. He's got his bombard, work on that stone wall tower, and what does Fitzyhere have to counter it? I mean, you know this is coming. You know it's coming. I think he thinks he's going to rush it down with infantry, but what's going to happen is these spearmen are just going to stand here in this gap, and the nest of bees are just going to have a field day. Looking at the current resources, Fitzyhere has res in the bank. DeMusliM does too, but his standing army, quite scary. Let's see if he has his university techs. He does have his university tech for his infantry. Fitzyhere's university techs are in for the most part. But there we go. He does get this. DeMusliM left a gap, and I said this is what he's going to do. He's going to charge in, and that's exactly what's happened. In come the infantry, and they are working on those bombards. They are working on the nest of bees. Down they go. Absolutely huge play. But look at this. Those bombards and nest of bees still are alive. That nest of bee is probably going to get another volley off here. Down goes a bombard. And this has largely been a pretty good fight for Fitzyhere, but the problem is going to be DeMusliM did have res in the bank. He does have a larger eco behind this. We have Imperial Palace being dropped down on the front line right now by 58 villagers. There you go. He has his Imperial Palace. Wow, a huge fight for Fitzyhere. Better than he could have hoped, honestly, against that initial Chinese siege push. And now he has to do something. Roll out your own bombards, take down this stuff, and start pushing, I think is what he needs to do, because when you're attacking into bombards, it's in a defensive scenario, it's going to be a trickier situation, right? Now imagine right now if Demu had all these sacred sites. Imagine that. Wow, now that is some gold mining right there. Right there. He is certainly going to be queuing up. He has to be just like queuing mass bombards. Wish there was a global queue. We don't really know what the hell's going on right now. We'll just have to see them as they come across the map. Here we go. Now these are, I mean, he is about to unleash the power of 50 villagers to heal these, though. Is that what we're about to see? Let me turn the camera so we can see what's going on. Again, round 2 of spearmen running in, but this time underneath the defense of a keep. And does he have the boiling pots? He does. Down goes one nest of bees. Does he have it? Wait. I'm not seeing any hot oil coming out there. A little bit of a weird fight here. Bombard's taking damage, but I don't think really DeMuslim's going to care a lot. Like, he's still going to wipe out all of these spearmen. He's just going to train a few more bombards. Like, yeah, he lost a few units. Here comes another keep. Look at the villager count. 88 vills versus 124 vills. He's been up on vills. There comes that oil. I don't know why it wasn't coming down before. Almost wonder if that was bugged. Maybe it just wasn't close enough. But anyways, there we go. Now he has bombards. Can start picking off spearmen. And Fitzyhere needs to have significant siege. How's he going to push into this? He needs to have bombards of his own. He needs to have bombards, which he doesn't. And despite some like really fun like spearmen running out and killing bombards, DeMusliM is fine here. He has all the room in the world. He has all the res in the world. We have just spearmen running around right now, trying to be annoying, but only a few of them. And he's trying to pick off the reinforcing siege units, but we still have 2 bombards in the front line. Surprising, DeMusliM hasn't healed these up. DeMusliM didn't even abuse the like healing of siege in that last fight. He played a good honorable siege fight. Didn't heal up his siege. We've got man-at-arms, elite man-at-arms, but these aren't going to be anything special. He's starting to work on his bombards, but He's going to run out of wood. Look at this. He's forced to be on this forward wood. Imagine if a nest of bees rolls up here. He needs to build a forward lumber camp, but has just been busy with other things. Capturing the bottom sacred site right now, not a huge factor in this late game, but he does have it. Now realize he does have all 5 relics. It's been a nice thing for him. That's the, the extra arm, the extra eco there for him. Let's look at the income per minute. Fitzyhere, has a massive food and wood eco, 500 food, but looking at that 2K gold that DeMusliM is bringing in per minute here. That is what I'm looking at and wondering, how is that going to pan out? There's a lot of gold out here to be had, and DeMusliM has control of it. But, for what it's worth, Fitzyhere, he did have a plan, and he stuck with it, right? He went for fast amp. He went for full infantry. He charged out. I think that was his goal, to snipe the... Oh, man, and you do not want to be fighting into... that oil. Okay, but there we go. Another nest of bees popped. But, I don't know. This is a good trade. Spearman versus that. Man, wouldn't compound defender kind of be nice back here right now? He's just trying to be annoying. And he is, raiding just like everywhere. But, villager raids are going to be nothing. Well, he's almost caught up to villager count. But I just feel like his eco was like if we saw total resources for this game, it's probably way behind. Okay, so we got, I don't know, raiding villagers and building weird wall segments. Now, I will tell you, I meme snake walls a lot. Back when me and Fitzyhere would play 2v2 games in Age of Empires 3, like in 2008, 2010, we would literally wall the entire damn map, and we would make it so obnoxious for our opponents. Now, walls in Age of Empires 3 are a little bit different, but... we would wall the entire map. So when he wants to turn it on, he could fill this whole motherfucking place with walls. So we'll have to see if he does that. But here we go. We've got nested bees popping shots at those. No more walls for you. He gets a little bit of line of sight, I guess, to see what is coming across the field. But there's no surprise what it is. A trebuchet. In this age, no one makes trebuchets. The bombards are going to enjoy seeing that trebuchet. He needs bombards. I don't know why he's been resistant to make them. He has the gold. I think he's probably dealing with the pop. That is what he's dealing with. A pop space issue. China's army is going to be stronger for the same amount of population. Not to mention these elephants are tanking pop and not really doing a ton. Not doing a whole lot here. Look at how many nested bees here. That just wiped out that infantry. That's a problem. He needs bombards to be popping these, but he's not. He has ejected the scholars. Is this an all-in moment? 17 scholars healing up. That's going to be a thumbnail right there, baby. Look at all those scholars. Holy cow. Look at that cinematic view. He is ready to go. Elephant Cam. I heard I've got special viewers on YouTube that love Elephant Cam. This is a mighty sight here. We've got nested bees firing off 15 scholars. Unfortunately, attack move doesn't make them heal. They just run to the front line and get slaughtered. But here we go, guys. A big fight here. Bombards. Massive scholars for Fitzyhere. Look at that. Holy cow. It's just a beautiful fight. See, but the scholars being slaughtered. Think of how much gold is invested in the scholars. And that keep doesn't care. He doesn't care who loses his villagers. Bombard is just wailing away. The power of China shining through right now. And there we go. We're going to lose some nested bees. But, that keep... I think it's going to stay up, and these elephants are going to die. The scholars are going to die. It was a valiant effort for Delhi Sultanate. I think Delhi is a very strong civilization. I think both of these are A-tier civilizations. I would almost consider, when you consider the late game of China being S-tier. What on earth was that? But I think just a not the best of strategies. Going for a fast Imperial versus China. Give him all the room, all the boom he could possibly want. Delhi could be very strong in the second or third age right now, especially with that horseman change, but didn't lean on that at all. And now, it's just keep after keep for DeMusliM creeping forward. The stronger part, not even the arrows, is if you go into siege that thing at close range, it's the oil, right? The oil just decimates anything that touches the keep. He has trebuchets, but they're not... what? He's going to trebuchet with 2 trebuchets take down all this? I think not. Oh my gosh, a mass Wololo. He could have done that, but unfortunately, Wololo doesn't grab Siege. I can't decide if it's unfortunately or fortunate, but here we go. This might be the final charge for Fitzyhere. He is low on res. In comes infantry, but look at it. They are taking a lot of damage, not only from the Palace Guard, but from... He's between two keeps, sandwiched between two keeps right now. I mean, he might do some damage to these... I mean, look at this. Is he healing him with... No, he's not healing with villagers. DeMusliM isn't even abusing the siege repair option, which he could. Like, I don't think he even killed a single bombard, because these bombards just have so much health. They are so survivable. Now, I could see this maybe changing in future patches. The devs have mentioned they don't want siege to be as overwhelming as it currently is, and that could be a major factor in current patches. But as it currently stands, you know, running siege or running infantry into clock tower bombards, it just doesn't get the job done. And I expect Fitzyhere probably will be tapping out here very shortly. Hanging on for dear life. He has bombards, but man, honestly, you know, saying that he picked the wrong strategy going for Fast Imperial, I think he had the res to make bombards early, and if he had neutralized these keeps, had his bombards picking off Nest of Bees instead of infantry picking them off, it maybe could have been a different game for Fitzy. He's spamming man-at-arms, but this ain't no HRE man-at-arms. They have honed blades, right? They do have honed blades. Would have liked to see some bombards earlier, but he's not out of this yet. Right? He's not out of this yet. He's still got gold in base. He's out of wood, but he's gathering wood down south for now. And seems to have held off the China army for now. He has 2 trebuchets. Aren't going to do a whole lot late game other than eat some pop space. How much pop does a bombard? Can you even hover over a unit and see his pop space? What the hell? Why? Why can't I do that? I probably have to click here. What? So it takes 3 populations. The same as a bombard. I don't think you want that. It's dumb you can't hover over the unit and see his pop space. It's ridiculous. Are you kidding me? Anyways, lots of man-arms. He's at full pop, but what's he gonna do? Trebuchets? Nah, trebuchets. DeMusliM can just go full bombards here, and he has plenty of gold out on the map. And now I'm gonna say this for one more time for the people in the back. Why on earth hasn't DeMusliM, considered one of the greatest players of AoE4 at the moment, why has he neglected taking 3 sacred sites that were under his control this entire game? What a weird play. What a weird play from him. Okay, so Fitzyhere has a full army of man-at-arms. He has some bombards, but how will they line up here against the Chinese bombards? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and villagers around to heal if he needs to. He needs to honestly sacrifice these trebuchets right now. They're too slow. They're not doing enough damage. But you see the gold count. He doesn't have a ton of gold. What's going on down here? Oh boy, you got a bit of a raid on the wood line right now. Okay, so right now we've got a big engagement coming up here. We've got China's scary bombard army upgrade. They have stronger, not only stronger unit, they have more HP. Look at this. It's look at 576 HP versus 864 HP. But the man-arms are looking threatening. They could run those down. But just so many keeps from DeMusliM. Keep after keep after keep after keep. I would like to maybe... I mean, wouldn't it be nice to have a mango to flatten that? But here we go. Chinese bombards taking some shots, but they're just picking off man-arms right now, which is kind of cheeky, right? These things do how much damage to a man-arm? 204 damage. So they won... Well, they don't one-shot. They two-shot, I guess, these man-at-arms. Before, here comes DeMusliM's villagers, but I think the man-arms are going to slaughter them. Is that going to matter, though, in this late game where DeMusliM's had more villagers the entire game? Those villagers aren't going to do shit, but they do back off Fitzyhere. Honestly, this is maybe a little bit of advantage for Fitzyhere, but this isn't... I don't think DeMusliM's really going to care a whole lot about this. He's got... I mean, look at this. I don't love this. 11 bombards. This is the meta right now. He's got no army. It's just 11 bombards. That's just the state of the game right now. He's actually not even pop capped, like pop max at the moment. Okay, man-arms charging forward against siege units. Do you think they might slaughter them? Oh no! Is this actually what he wanted to do? Surround those palace guards? Perhaps, but he has to do something about these bombards because they are wailing even on his man-at-arms. They are currently picking off man-at-arms quite easily. Boy, oh boy, oh boy. So this is what I was talking about, you know, in Age 1. Fitzyhere even having some good engagements, some good trades, but how do you deal with the point when China gets that critical mass of bombards? How does he take this out? He can't afford to lose his 4 bombards, which he is about to do. I mean, look at this. One trebuchet being one-shotted. There goes 1 bombard, 2 bombards. There goes his entire siege army. And watch this. Even though he has infantry in range of these, they will not do enough damage. Watch. It'd be... he might kill 1... Let's count. 1 bombard killed. Honestly, loving that DeMusliM is not healing them with the villagers. 2 bombards killed. Okay, 2 bombards killed. Remind you, he lost 4 and his trebuchets and a lot of man-at-arms. 3 bombards almost killed. I mean, that's what this entire fight ended up for Fitzyhere. Taking a lot of damage, obviously, from these keeps. I wish he had neutralized these keeps earlier on with the bombards he did have. Or he had the goal in the bank early, but he was doing trebuchet stuff. Okay, but, I mean, honestly, at this point, it doesn't matter if Fitzyhere has more micro, better trades, whatever. At this point in the game, China's set up. They have a better civilization. They have the bombards. There's no way you can really fight into this without DeMusliM making a massive mistake. Imagine if he had taken his sacred sites once again. Make sure if you talk to DeMusliM, you harass him about this, because this is ridiculous. He could have won this game a long time ago. Okay, so there we go. You can't even feel like before you could really feel bad for Delhi, but like now that they've received some significant buffs, they have agency, right? He could have made a move in the second age. He could have made a move in the third age, but you know, he's just sat back and let China get to this point. And you know, like I know this is not, but it could be the fact that like Fitzyhere has not played a ton of late game Delhi. Maybe he has not experienced the fact that China just mops up Delhi in this stage of the game. Okay, so Fitzyhere hanging on for dear life. In come the Spearman spam. He is low on res, but also on the back line, we've got Fire Lancers moving in to do some building sniping. But look at this. He's taking out the bombards of DeMusliM. This is good for him. They have so much health, though. He has to sit here and just torch and torch and torch and torch and torch, and those bombards are still firing away. Lancers raiding villagers, which they are quite good at. I mean, he can start to eat away at Fitzyhere's economy. He doesn't need to snipe a landmark. He just needs to whittle down his economy at this point because he has the stronger eco. He has the map control. Chad is asking me, why did he go fast Imperial with Delhi? You said you were playing with him. I did not tell him to go fast Imperial. I would advise against this, but there you go. DeMusliM taking the victory. China versus Delhi, and DeMusliM will advance in this EGC Winter Championship 2-0 versus Fitzyhere, and we'll be following more of DeMuslim's games. Hey, you know I'm rooting for my brother, but as far as other players to root for, even though DeMusliM is ranked 1 in the ladder, he has been my fan favorite. You know, I've followed him through many of the tournaments that have been going on the past few months. So I'm going to be rooting for him all the way to the end. Always enjoy watching his gameplay, and glad to see that my brother had the opportunity to go up against a Titan of AoE4. He has gained a lot of experience training for this tournament, and I am certain this will not be the last that we see of Fitzyhere on this main stage. He'll be back ready to take some more action, and maybe he will even take some wins off DeMusliM when he has his main civilization. That's going to be it for this series. I will be casting more, but as always, if you're watching this on YouTube, hit that subscribe button, leave a comment below because it helps me with that algorithm, and I will see you guys in the next game.